We are now joined by Canisius head coach Dave Smith and Canisius student athletes Tony Capobianco and Kyle Gibbons. Canisius is the number 4 seed in the East region. Coach Smith, would you please begin with an opening statement?
Sure, thanks. Well, this is exciting. It's exciting for obviously our hockey program and our players. It's also very exciting for Canisius College, Western New York, the Buffalo hockey community, and you know, I was fortunate to be in 2 NCAA tournaments in my job previous to Canisius with Mercyhurst, and I knew how much fun it would be if we allowed ourselves to, and these guys have really had a great time with it already. I think you know, the extra things that go into the NCAA tournament are what you want to remember. The game of hockey on the ice is what we do, what we dream about playing, and we're excited to get going against a great Quinnipiac team.
Okay, this time we'll open up to questions for Coach Smith and the student athletes. A reminder to identify yourself and your media organization. Questions? Hold on.
For Kyle, the run you guys had in the Atlantic Hockey Tournament was
Where
unexpected.
are you from?
Sorry about that. Joe Maloney, College Hockey News. The run you guys had over in Rochester was something the program hasn't experienced before. Just talk about the emotion of that, getting to the stage for the first time.
It's pretty special for that exact reason. I mean, we're the first Canisius team to win a championship, first in history, which is pretty cool. Something that myself and the rest of the guys and everybody in the athletic department will be able to share. It's definitely it's pretty surreal, but also, I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do it without you know, some of the alumni like Dr. Dietz, guy that founded the program. You know, some older coaches like Brian Kavanaugh, and then, you know, other players like Corey Conker, who plays in the NHL, Benny Scarcella, Phil Rao, Pete McDougall, you know, guys like that really kind of laid the groundwork for us to, you know, come in and have success. So, you know, we're going to enjoy it as a team, and, you know, also we got to, you know, recognize the guys that came before us that helped us get there.
Amy Morris, Buffalo News. Tony and Kyle, can you talk a little bit about the hoopla aspect of this? And obviously you guys are used to playing big teams and in big arenas, but all of the stuff that's going on around it, how have you enjoyed it? What's it been like for you so far?
Yeah, I just think the guys have been taking it in stride. We know it's on the national stage and it'll be televised and that kind of thing. And I think for the most part the guys have been loose. Yes, they were taking pictures, just having fun with it, and I think that's big.
Questions? Okay. Amy?
Dave, during this run we've talked a lot about scoring and how the scoring's increased, but without Tony you don't get to this point, and sometimes I think maybe he gets a little bit overlooked in this run. Can you just talk a little bit about what he's been able to do all season, and especially in this run for you guys?
Yeah, we don't overlook Tony in the locker room. We know how important he is, and I think the key attributes he brings is just a calm, confident, quiet demeanor of just let's get the job done. Early in the year, and we knew this was a big year for Tony, early in the year we had a conversation that we weren't getting points in games that we were playing well in, and I in a way challenged Tony to go from being really good to being great, and that's when we started picking up points. And then I think the team in a way has repaid Tony for his early efforts. He's played the same consistent grade all year, but recently the scoring has picked up, and I think that's you know, a real good sign of how deep of a team we are. Some nights it's goaltending, some nights it's defense, some nights it's something else, and it's nice to know going into a game that you have that one pillar every night regardless of what else happens.
Joe Maloney, College Hockey News. For Kyle and for Coach Smith, your captain's Preston Shooter was a very good season after kind of a difficult year last year. Just talk about his development, his role within the team, and know kind of why you think he's been able to recover after a tough year?
Could you say that again? I couldn't really hear you, sorry.
I'm talking about Preston Shoup, his role as a captain, as a leader on the ice as well.
Okay, yeah, he's a great leader. We kind of joke around with the guys that he's really strict, but at the same time, he's a lot of fun. I mean, when we're at the rink, when we're at the gym working out, you know, before games, before practices, you know, he's a great leader. You know, he keeps it focused in the locker room when we need to be focused, and you know, he keep it light when we're away. Like yesterday, I mean, he was joking around, you know, all that good stuff. You know, he's a great guy. I played with him for 2 years, no, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. This is my 3rd year playing with him. And you know, to see his game come along is awesome. I know he had a good freshman year, and he kind of lulled a little bit, but to see the resurgence in his game is awesome because he's a player for us. I mean, him and Tori played together their whole lives, and you know, to see Tori also excelling a little bit and to be a captain and to share that experience with Shoup, I think is pretty special to the two of them. And you know, also I'm happy to see that he's, you know, been able to put the puck in the net a few times. I mean, you know, scoring goals is a lot of fun, and you know, to see him smiling every time he scores and every time we win and all that good stuff is pretty cool. You know, it's special because he's a senior, and for him to go out like this is it's pretty enjoyable to watch.
You know, from my perspective on Preston, he walked into a situation where he went on the left wing with Vince Scarcella and Corey Conacher for 2 years. And I think ultimately the strength of Preston is in that supplemental role where, you know, he's going to pick up any loose ends both on the ice and off the ice. And as a captain, him and Tori are the go-between. They need to carry the message not only from the coaches to the players, but from the players back to the coaches. And I know that on both sides of that, the coaches and the players know that he's passionate about the message that needs to be delivered. In terms of his on-ice production, I think he's a wonderful example of somebody that believes he can do everything. And why not him? You know, and if you just break down his individual skills, he's not the most talented person, but his heart, his desire, and his determination have allowed him to be not only a captain and a Division I hockey player, but a successful captain who's been to the national tournament now, who's been to the Atlantic Hockey Tournament twice, and who has made a huge difference in our program over the past 4 years.
Question in the back.
Marissa Jack Swyan in Albany. Coach, this is for you and the players. Sometimes when teams have their backs against the wall, they aren't able to play loose and play some of their best hockey. But you guys have been able to do that with your backs against the wall. You came back and a huge win streak to get to this point. How were you guys able to do that and just play your game?
Well, good question. I think for us, nothing has changed all year other than what outside people are seeing in the wins and the losses, etc. We've had 2 stinker games all year, and the rest of the time, you know, we summarize our weekend, we talk about it, and then we try and figure out a way to get better in that moment. And I believe that that process has allowed to keep all of this in perspective. That, you know, we want to keep getting. We're allowed to play hockey. Thank you. Let's keep playing. Let's get better. We don't know when it will end. We never want it to end, and I think that realization that possibly we wouldn't get home ice, which was an important goal for us in the first round of the playoffs. We were sitting in 9th. We needed to win 2 games against a very good RIT team. That was the first time our backs were against the wall, and I think that healthy fear and respect for our own situation, which we had created, has driven us to new heights.
Right in front. Jim Donaldson, Providence Journal. Tony, I know you guys have been a little busy lately, so I don't know if you paid any attention whatsoever to the NCAA basketball tournament. But do you see any parallels at all between you guys in Florida Gulf Coast in the context that, first of all, where you finished in not the most powerful league in the country, my apologies, in the standings, and the fact that people look at this tournament, they see Wisconsin, they see Minnesota, they see North Dakota, they see Notre Dame, they see Boston College, and they see you guys. People feel the same way about FGCU. So your thoughts, if any?
Yeah, I've been following the tournament. You could say there's some similarities there. They're a smaller school and not one of the big conferences either. And, I'm not sure how they did throughout the year, how their season went, but they're having a good run right now in the tournament. I'm sure that over the year they were a good team and they were competitive with a lot of teams. And like Coach has been saying, just over the course of the year, they just kept getting better. That's something that Coach Smith stresses, and he said it earlier this week. Was one of our things is KGB, which is just keep getting better. And we had a good weekend last weekend, obviously, and it's good to think about that at the time, and then once Monday, Tuesday practice comes around, just get better.
Right here,
Mark Giver from the Providence Journal. The weather's a bit warm outside. The next day or two, I'm curious about what the condition of the ice surface was, and whether fast ice surface or slow ice surface is best for your game.
I can tell you from my perspective in practice, where I stood, the ice was just great. Where these guys skated, they probably should answer. I have no idea because I was trying to stay out of the way, as I always do.
I mean, it was pretty good. It was definitely fresh. You can kind of tell, obviously, because I had to put all the logos down and stuff. But it was pretty hard, which is good. That's the kind of ice you want. It's easy to skate. There's good glide on it. You know, the snow doesn't really build up or anything. It's kind of just more like powder. In terms of what surface we want, I mean, I don't think it really matters. It's just ice, so we just go out and play.
more questions? Jim?
Kind of the same vein. I mean, you guys are clearly an underdog for a variety of reasons. How do you approach that? Do you think it's an advantage that maybe people might have overlooked you or not think you're as good as you really are?
I mean, all through the playoff run, you know, no one's really picked us to win. I don't think anyone has. So, you know, that's fine with us. We're certainly not going to strive for people to, you know, pick us to win games. But, you know, hey, whatever, they're the media people, they do whatever they want. But, yeah, I mean, we've kind of been the underdog, but I don't think that changes anything for us. We've always come into the game as, you know, we have certain things that we want to get done during the game. You know, we want to play physical, we want to play fast, we want to get pucks to the net, we want to get bodies to the net, and we've been able to do that this whole stretch. So we don't really pay a whole lot of attention to like what people are picking, but I mean, we certainly know, but we're not going to read all about it and post it in the locker room and, you know, all that stuff. We definitely don't do that, but it's kind of a motivation because you want to prove people wrong. We want to prove to people that we're, you know, a force to be reckoned with.
Question in the back, please. Microphone.
Nate Lull, Canisius Radio. Coach Smith, yes, you're playing the #1 team in the country, but it's a team that you've seen over the last couple of seasons. Do you think that helps your guys just when you skate up for the opening draw to say, this is a team we've seen before, and take away a little bit of maybe that unknown factor?
I do think that's important, similar to the feeling that Preston Shoup shared with us coaches, his feelings going to the Atlantic Hockey Tournament 4 years ago and playing in the Rochester Arena and looking up and saying, this is the biggest rink he'd ever played in. The first time we went to Wisconsin, going to Minnesota, all of those experiences you put away into your memory bank and pull them out when you need them to help you be more comfortable. And I think we played Quinnipiac recently. We're familiar with their path to success here. And I think now we reach into our memory bank and pull out that we have a comfort level, at least knowing who they are, what they're all about, and also having played them last year, how good they are. And I think that helps us.
More questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.